Okay, welcome to the patient teacher. I'm doing pronunciation and intonation. I discovered the videos on YouTube have to be much shorter, so I'm going to go through it a little quicker than I usually do. I put up here the vowels. They're A, E, I, O, and U. Now remember, the vowels are very soft. They don't make the noise. They just allow us to make different words by having a different sound. The consonants are the one that make the noise. They're hard. Okay, they make the sound. Okay, keep that in mind. It'll come in handy later as we're doing pronunciation of a word. Here are some different letters and how we make the sound. For the letter M, you put your lips together. They touch and you press them together. You'll notice in sounds like mother and my, how the sound comes from your pressing the lips together. Okay? Now, when your lips come apart, slowly, that's how we make the letter B. Boy, ball. Your lips are coming apart very slowly, as opposed to P, the exact same way, but your lips come apart quickly. Please, play. They come apart very quick. Okay? And these two letters go together, L and R. You'll see why at the end, why they go together. L, the sound comes from your tongue touching your top teeth. Okay? Level, long. Your tongue starts by touching your teeth and then coming apart. Long. Okay? R, however, the sound is made in the back of your throat. Okay? Right, wrong. The sound is in the back of your throat. Now, why these two go together is that if you pronounce the L incorrectly, it will sound like an R, and you don't want that because it could be a different word. Okay, you don't want to confuse the listener of the word you're trying to say. These two go together. V, okay, the sound is made by your top teeth on your bottom lip. Okay, victory. Okay, as opposed to a W where your lips don't touch at all. Okay, you want to prevent your lips from touching when you make a W sound, and your lips go to the side. Okay, one letter here that I want you to be aware of is the letter X, and the sound is made by these letters, X. So think of EKS, X. Okay? And two special letters to keep in mind, C and G, because they give us two different letters. There's no such thing as a C per se. A soft C is like the letter S, and a hard C is like the letter K. So when you think of the word century, it's actually a S sound at the beginning of the word. A hard C would be from the letter cake, right? It's a K. The C is pronounced like a K. Similar with the letter G, a soft G is essentially the letter J. Okay? So keep that in mind. Those sounds we use quite often, and you want to make sure you're pronouncing them correctly. Okay? Now the second part is what's called a syllable. Okay? A syllable is essentially just a sound. Okay? And some words, the number of sounds or syllables can be from 1 to 6. Okay? It usually doesn't go to 6, but it can. Okay? So the syllable is the number of sounds you hear in a word. Okay? So if you have a name, I just thought of this, if you have the name Rita, notice that the consonants are making the sound R and T. So it would be two syllables. Rita. Okay? Now, why this is important is this reason. In English, only one syllable has what we call the stress. and stress means your voice goes up. Okay? All the others will be flat. Okay? So keep that in mind. One syllable in the word receives the stress, and we put the stress on the vowels. Because they're soft, the stress goes on the vowels. Okay? So you want to bear that in mind when you're pronouncing a word. Where you put the stress is very important. And it has to go there. You can't put it somewhere else. Okay? So keep that in mind. And now we'll do some practice words. Okay? To make you aware. Now let's take the word photo. Okay? Now you notice in this word 2 vowels. And if you were thinking, you're correct. That means there's going to be 2 syllables. Okay? So one thing I didn't point out is the PH most times will sound like an F. Okay? So we have photo, 2 syllables. Now you have to guess, where does the stress go? On the first one or the second one? Okay? And it does go on the first one. So your voice will go up here and flat there. Photo. Now if you take this word and you're thinking 1, 2, 3, you're correct. 3 vowels, 3 syllables. Now you have to guess, where does the stress go? On the first, second, or third syllable. And you're right, it goes here. Photograph. Okay? Now, when you have this word, and notice we have 2 PHs, right? 2 Fs. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Which syllable gets the stress? The second one. Photographer. Okay? So you're noticing that the stress changes depending on what comes near the end. This is called a suffix, and that causes the stress to go from the first to the second. And then we have the last word. Now notice a hard C will be like a K. The PH is like an F. The G is soft, so it's like a J. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 syllables. So how do we say the word? Photogenic. So the stress goes here. Photogenic. Okay? So that's the kind of the thing you have to use to pronounce the word correctly. Okay? It's called intonation. I'll just put it up here. You can go to this website, englishclub.com, and if you look for intonation worksheet, they have 10 exercises of many words that you can practice and learn how to do the intonation. But it's very important. Okay, so I'll put that up. Now, one word that I often use for students to help them is this word. Notice that we have hard C's. Okay, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 vowels, so 4 syllables. That's not correct. Let me put it here. Complicated. So you have to decide, where does the stress go, which syllable. Many people think it goes here, complicated, but it doesn't sound right, and it actually goes here. Complicated. Okay? So that's something that can be confusing. A warm hint is that it often goes on the first syllable. So if you're confused, try the first syllable, and if it doesn't sound right, then go to another one or gauge where you think it goes. English, it always is the one that sounds better. Okay, that's why the rules can help you, but they're not hard and fast. The rule If it sounds better, that's usually the way it is. Okay? So that's it for now on pronunciation and intonation. Good luck.